Start winning at the races with Daily Racing Form's new mobile pass performances, featuring exclusive buyer speed figures and expert analysis and selections. Go to DRF.com/best and get the power of DRF in the palm of your hand. Hi, everybody. Illman and Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day for Thursday, July the 9th, race number 7 at Belmont Park. Let's take a look at this field. We're going 1 1/8 on the inner turf. It's an optional claiming race for 3-year-olds. We're expecting a field of 8. You can download free Formulator Pass performances for this race on the Race of the Day event page at DRF.com. Access them, handicap along with us. No word, 2-1 morning line favorite for trainer Todd Pletcher. Mike, a very lightly raced horse, and the buyers are going the right way.
Yeah, he certainly has improved so far as a 3-year-old, and you know what? He was pretty good at 2.
Timeform US's pace projector is up next. I'm not sure there's a ton of speed in this race. I do think the 6 Buy Me Candy is going to have to be forwardly placed. Assiduously was close to the pace when he was a maiden winner 2 starts back, and maybe the addition of blinkers will get him forward. Other than that, though, I see a bunch of stalkers and mid-pack based horses.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I did sort of feel like, especially the way they rode Buy Me Candy last time, where he's just sort of locked up on the pace the entire way. It feels like they're going to go forward with that horse again.
Number 1, Our Country is a horse I know you're not a big fan of, and maybe I've just been making way too many excuses for him ever since he ran 3rd in the Pilgrim, and then I thought he had trouble in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf, had some traffic that day, steadied hard on the turn. This is a horse, though, in 2 starts has underperformed this year. His race at Tampa Bay Downs off the layoff, he was the beaten favorite. He really didn't have much of an excuse in that race. Last time out, I'd give him a little bit of an excuse because Paco Lopez, I think, wanted to get to the rail. He ended up kind of in and among horses. He eventually did get inside, and then the horse really didn't fire. I think he's getting the trip Timeform US has for him. I think he's going to probably be sitting in the pocket. And I think this might be his last chance for me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see. As you mentioned, I'm not a huge fan of his. I will say this. He got wired last time by a huge long shot. I mean, so maybe that's an excuse just because the race didn't come back to him. I personally thought he ran a terrible race last time. And I say that as somebody who, based off his Tampa race, off the layoff, where I just felt like he got a ridiculously bad ride from Centeno and actually felt like he ran pretty well off the layoff. It sort of almost had me turned around on him, Dan. Then he came back with that terrible effort last time, and I'm right back off him again.
Assiduously, the number 2 is a British bred trained by Chad Brown, and you have to respect Chad. He's putting blinkers on this horse. This horse just ran 3rd last time out at Tampa. It was a race where he got some pace, too. Mr. Kringle, the runner-up, came back to kind of flatter the performance. 3rd in the Grade 2 Pennine Ridge in his subsequent start with a 79 buyer. This horse's figs are light, which means you might get a good price on a horse that can get close to the pace.
Yeah, we'll see if they let him go here based on his connections. You don't usually get prices with these horses. We'll see what happens here. You know, so far, it's not fast enough to really be competitive here, Dan. I thought his maiden win at the end of last year was fine, but he didn't really do that much running last time.
Blinkers did the trick for on base last time out. Let's watch his performance at Tampa Bay. Going this 1 1/8 distance, and on base really improved his buyer speed figure up to a 75, drawing away from this field strongly in the stretch. You see him in the maroon and gold on the outside, and he wins this race very comfortably. This is a race that he can build off of. Javier Castellano has the mount, and I think he's tactical enough to work out a good trip. I like the way he's striding home, albeit changing back to his left lead late.
Yeah, I like this horse too. I'm definitely using this horse in here. His debut at Tampa doesn't look that good, and actually it wasn't that good, but he was very, very green in that race. And I just gave him a pass for it. He was actually running at the end. It looked like a really useful race to me, and obviously he took a big step forward last time going this distance. I think there's more improvement in this horse, Dan. I am using this horse.
Shamrock at the number 4 was knocking on the door prior to his last start for Christophe Clement, and he kicked the door down in that race. Going 1.25 miles, we're going to watch it right now. It's kind of an odd race for a 1.25 mile event because there was a runaway leader at a big price, Tiz Envy, who actually takes this field down to inside the 3/16. Shamrock, it was patiently ridden by Junior Alvarado. He's in the green Donegal silks on the outside, and he's just running best of all at the end. I didn't think much of the field this horse beat, but he is going the right way and he is consistent.
True enough. I mean, he did improve in this race, but as you've already pointed out, he got a great trip in there, a great ride, and it was not a good field. And you know what? I actually feel like the 1.25 probably helped him in there. Now he's going to cut back against better horses.
Now, no word's going to cut back from a 1.25 start, and that actually might help him as well. He earned an 87 buyer going the 10 furlongs. Let's watch that race. I didn't think it was the greatest trip. Jose had him down inside. He wanted to get him out. Now he's back on the inside in the white cap, and he's kind of just going to plug along. He's going to find a spot in between horses. He's going to split him, and he's going to finish evenly for third against a decent enough group. I thought all in all, it was a good move back in his second start of the year, and I think another forward move is coming. I'm just not sure how short I would go on him. I don't see the giant edge he has over this field.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, Dan. As far as him being the morning line favorite, he probably should be against this field, and I do think he ran well last time. As we already sort of talked about in the open, I thought he was a pretty good 2-year-old as well. So, there's plenty to like about him, but I'm with you. If he's a really short price in here, it wouldn't hurt to shop around.
There's a chance that Buy Me Candy could be the loose leader in here at a very good price for a good trainer in Nacho Correas. Last time at Churchill, they put him on the lead. He really never got a breather, and he was pretty game all the way down to the wire to finish second. Now, maybe the 1 1/8's a little bit far, but I think if Jose Lezcano can give this horse a breather on the backstretch, he's going to be leading him turning into the lane.
Yeah, he could have an easier time on the lead in this race, and that could help him. I'm with you. I'm not sure that a 1 1/8 is what he really wants. But he ran pretty well last time, considering he was sort of locked up the entire way. I thought his first 2 career races were good as well. There's plenty to like about this horse, especially going this distance on the inner turf. Getting to the lead on a relatively modest pace is a huge advantage.
I'm Will Sing for Wine's biggest fan, and maybe I'm going to be kicking myself in the behind because I didn't upgrade this horse in my selections trying turf for the first time. I really liked his debut for Jimmy Ryerson last year. A race where he got bumped at the start, fell far behind, and he actually ran at the end. And after that race, he was bought by Team Valor. They ran him a 1 1/8 off a long layoff at Gulfstream. I won't hold that race against him. His race at Aqueduct on Gotham Day was kind of an interesting performance. Maybe the outside was the place to be, but I'm not sure that outside. He just took a tour of the track 5-6 wide and was still better than those horses going a mile. But he was lousy last time against Tap It to Win, who came back and didn't really run very well in the Belmont Stakes. His dam was more of a dirt horse. She was a grade 3 stakes winner on the launch. He has filled 1 turf winner. Will take charge okay with turf runners, 12%. But Mott's had this horse on the turf. It looks on the dirt in the mornings. It looks like with a couple of his nice turf horses. I have a feeling this horse is going to run okay.
Yeah, I sort of agree with you. And I say that as somebody who didn't put him in my mix anywhere, but this horse does have some talent. And you know what? I just wouldn't be too hard on him for that last race. He didn't run well in there, but that was a really good field. And, with Tap It to Win just speeding away on the lead and never looking back, this horse had no chance in there.
Arithmetic completes the field. He's 20-1 on the morning line. He's raced 3 times. He's won twice. He has 1 second-place finish against weaker competition. And Arithmetic last time out at Belmont, we're going to take a look at this race, a $40,000 claimer. All in all, I thought this horse got a really nice trip. He was in behind horses in the pocket. He's going to get to the outside. Now, here's the problem. Now he has to go sideways. Now he has to go sideways again. And now he's going to come with his late run to finish second. So it was a good trip until it really didn't turn into a good trip. He ran and tried. This is a tougher spot.
Yeah, I agree with that. I thought this horse ran well last time, Dan, but I'd be looking to bet him back in another 40 claimer, not against this field.
Stepping up against tougher horses is the 8 Arithmetic. We'll see if that adds up. We take a look at our top selection for Thursday's race of the day. I'm going back to my old friend, Our Country, and maybe burn me. He's been the beaten favorite in his last 2, and I expect him to take some money in here. I used No Word as my second pick. I think probably he's the horse to beat, and I'm going to be very mad if the 7 wins.
Yeah, exactly. I put the favorite on top here. I just like his form. If he gets really overbet in this race, though, I'd be happy to bet a few bucks on the 3 on base. I think that horse is going to, he's taken steps forward with every race, and I think he has more improvement in him.
It's possible he might have the most upside of any horse in this field. 1-5-4-6 for me, 5-3-6-1 for Mike. The Thursday race of the day, the 7th at Belmont. Approximate post time, 4:32 Eastern. Good luck.